Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday night. I'm about to kill this can of wintergreen skull snuff that has rocked my world for the last week. It was a week ago today I got this package in the mail. Oh man, so good. All gone. Nothing left but the stuff in the leg. That's alright. It's good. So this is, I think, my third or fourth attempt on making a video today. I just haven't been feeling it. But I've been doing some other stuff. Excuse me. I'm trying to get in touch with an old friend of mine. A fellow named Mitch Podolak. Now, Mitch is a godfather of the Canadian folk music scene. Back in his day, when he was around my age, I guess, he was Stan Rogers' executive producer. If you know Stan Rogers, he's a Canadian folk icon. Built a Northwest Passage, or built a Southwest Passage, or something like that. You'd know him to hear him if you've ever heard any Canadian folk icon. I do go on. So yeah, Mitch. He was, when we were touring the festivals in 2003. He was there at like all of them, and he loved Silver Hearts. He just loved the Silver Hearts. We were lucky. A lot of people really liked us when they saw us. So we were doing well. But one morning, we're at the Radisson Hotel in fucking, I don't know, Vancouver or the West, some really fancy hotel out in Calgary. That's where we were. And I got up for, my morning coffee or whatever. I went downstairs on the elevator, got out in the lobby, and this man, I never met Mitch before, but he comes up to me. He's like, "Patrick, Dirty Pat Walsh. What are you doing? What are you doing right now?" I was like, I was just waking up. I'm like, I'm going to get coffee. He's like, "Come on, I'm taking you to get the best coffee in town." And I was like, okay. Now, Mitch was this bear of a man, just a big bearded bear of a fucking dude. And so we went out, and he took me to some coffee shop, and we had a coffee and talked. He told me all about, he just told me all about his stuff he'd done. He basically started all these major folk festivals, like Edmonton, Calgary, Winnipeg, Vancouver. I think he was the guy who kind of started those festivals. So he's an icon in the folk music scene in Canada, and I made a connection with him in the short period that we hung out that I've rarely, if ever, made with anyone. We just hit it off really well. And anyway, when I got home, I was corresponding with him, I wrote him a letter and I said, hey, I have some solo records that I have done, because he just knew me from the Silver Hearts, right? I said, maybe you want to hear them. And he wrote me, he's like, fuck yeah, I want to hear them. Jesus, why you been holding out on me, man? And I was, all right. So I mailed him a couple records I'd made, and he really liked them. Like, he really liked them from what I gather. And so he was all, we were kind of in touch, and he was telling me how much he liked them. He's like, I don't see you ever as being like the guy who goes to a festival as like the headlining act that's going to blow everybody away. But I do see you as a cult hero, like a cult musician, whatever, like if we got you touring regularly and playing the same little places over and over again, you'd have a good audience base, whatever. And, like I always figured if I was going to do anything, that would probably be the way it would go if anybody liked my stuff, And, so yeah, we were working on that. We were actually working on like a contract, even almost. We're almost at that point. And then he called me up, and I was married, and I was just about to have my ex-wife was pregnant, and he's like, we hadn't talked in a while, and I told him that, and he's like, you're having a kid? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, see you in 20 years. So I guess he was trying to do me a favor by not tying me up, or figured that I wouldn't be dependable because I was having a kid. Something like that. I didn't look at it in a bad way at all. I saw it as that's just the way life went, right? And anyway, so I was at the radio station the other week, and Washboard Hank's a good friend of his. Washboard Hank was telling me that last time he saw him a while ago, he was talking about me. I was like, holy moly, he's still alive. Like, honestly, when I met him, he was in very bad health, and I thought maybe that's why I lost contact with him, because I thought he died, but he's still kicking. I guess he just had a big spinal operation or something. And, I kicked him off an email, but he hasn't written back, but I guess he can't type right now. So I wrote to his company, and, I'm trying to get in touch with Mitch, just because I fucking love the guy. He gave me a real boost of confidence in my musical career. You know what I mean? Yeah, because when you play to empty rooms for fucking 20 years, you kind of get a little demoralized. But then when the godfather of Canadian folk music says that you're all right, you feel all like it's kind of, you did something, So I'm trying to get a hold of Mitch. So that's been a cool thing I've been doing. I guess the company that evolved, and like the thing that we were going to do, that what it evolved into is this company. I think it's called Home Roots, and they basically just send solo artists out on little tours of house concerts, like where people do concerts in their homes, right? And I'd be totally down with that, doing something like that. So I'm trying to see what I can bring into my musical future, But yeah, this is my third attempt on making a video today, and I just thought the other ones that I made. The first one I made was really silly. Like, it was really, I did a lot of editing in it, and it was kind of goofy. So I thought, nah. And then the second one I did, I played an old Howlin' Wolf song. I wanted to call him Chester Burnett. That's his real name. Old Howlin' Wolf song called "Meet Me at the Bottom." I played it on a cigar box guitar, but my 3-string cigar box guitar, I kind of fucked it up a bit, and so it's not tuning right. It just didn't sound that good. You know what I mean? If I'd kept it on one string, it probably would have sounded okay, but it just didn't sound that good. It'll all come out in the wash, I'm sure. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a good night. It's Friday again. Fucking whatever you're doing. I'm sitting here in my studio. Emmy Lou. Maybe she's in the kitchen. But yeah, I don't know. I might try to redo that song. It's a cool song. I want to do it. I might figure out a way to do it. But, be well. I'll see you for the next one in the meth end of town.